All right, it's time for this week's edition of Rocky Talk here on RealAg Radio, brought to you by Rocky Mountain Equipment. You can find them online at rockymtn.com. Increased steel prices, steel tariffs are impacting agricultural equipment manufacturers, but what about at the dealer and at the farm level? Joining us this afternoon to discuss, we are pleased to welcome back Jim Wood, Chief Sales and Operating Officer with Rocky Mountain. How are things today, Jim?
Good. Calling yourself?
Doing all right here too. This topic of steel tariffs, when you look at your company with dealers across the prairies, would you say that you've already felt the impact, or how would you describe the impact of the steel tariffs and increased steel prices that we've seen?
Yeah, definitely we have seen the impact, and we continue to see the impact. You know, we had a great Q2 when it came to new equipment pre-sales from last fall. Since then, we've seen the Canadian dollar weaken. We've seen price of steel go up. So we're in Q3 now, and unfortunately, the price of new equipment is considerably higher than it was last December when we were pre-selling for this fall.
Okay, so as a dealer, you are already seeing that impact, that increase passed on from the manufacturer.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, when steel, when the tariffs got announced, steel was already on the increase. It just worsened it. So now as far as steel's higher, so of course, the cost of manufacturing equipment is higher, so they pass that cost on to us.
You mentioned the Q2 results for Rocky Mountain that were released last week. Some strong numbers there in terms of sales. What do you think that means for the overall state of the Canadian ag industry right now?
Well, I think it's strong, and it's been strong for a while. It's not 2013 levels, but they've been healthy levels. I think we saw, not only us, but the industry saw producers start to replace equipment that they maybe hadn't done in a while. So we did see an uptake in Q1 and then Q2 as well. And we did outpace the industry in Q2, so that was nice to see.
You've also made some announcements in terms of additions to your network. Can you fill us in on what that means for the company and for your customers?
Yeah, so we're excited. We added 2 New Holland stores in Saskatchewan, Outlook, and Tisdale from the John Bob Equipment Organization. And then we just recently announced that we bought the Moody store in Olds, Alberta, right along the highway there. So it'd be a nice addition to it's contiguous with Red Deer and Balzac, actually. So.
And that's also a New Holland dealership in Olds?
That's correct, yeah.
All right. Harvest is getting rolling now in southern parts of the prairies, at least. What can we expect, just as a final question here, Jim, heading into harvest, during harvest, the rest of 2018 from Rocky Mountain?
Sure. Well, this morning I'm driving down south of Lethbridge. We're having our in-field combine training. Case IH has the new 50 series combine in the field, so excited to see that. As far as from Rocky, this is our go time. This is where we excel. We're open for business. We know the producers work 24 hours a day, and so do we. And we try and we've increased our parts inventory. We've increased our staffing level from a service standpoint. So this is harvest for our customers and ourselves, and as a partnership we're in it together, and hopefully it goes well for them. Crops look really good, so hopefully they see the results of that.
Well, thanks for your time again, Jim, and all the best during the harvest season.
Oh, thanks, Kelvin. Appreciate it.
That's Jim Wood, Chief Sales and Operating Officer with Rocky Mountain Equipment, joining us for this week's edition of Rocky Talk. Again, you can find more at rockymtn.com or visit your local Rocky Mountain dealer if you're in Western Canada. RealAg Radio continues right after this.